What's up, everyone? My name is Jason Statham, and welcome to a brand new Sweet Film podcast. Cody, how are you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing exceptionally well, Zach. How are you doing
No, it's
today?
Jason Statham. Fuck you, it's Jason Statham. And I just
Okay.
got done fighting a giant shark.
Did you get done fighting a giant shark? I really couldn't tell. And if you see the man behind me, that was my dad.
Oh,
But
nice to see him. Did he fight a giant shark too?
every single day of his life. But anyway,
Great
guys,
to hear.
we got some big news because we have our first time ever returning guest on this podcast with us here today.
We couldn't get someone else, so we chose him.
Yep.
Oh.
Say hi to everybody, Jay.
You do plan on having me on your podcast, right?
Okay, Jeff Goldblum.
So the reason, if you guys don't know, we brought Jay back because we did do a summer preview for the summer, and the summer's over now. And
Fuck
of course, the
Warcraft.
discussion today, fuck you. So today the discussion is talking about, we're pretty much going to be reviewing the summer films. We're going to go over our top 5 favorite summer films, the most underrated summer films, the worst summer films, and the most disappointing summer films. This is going to be a really fun discussion. So guys, make sure to comment down below and tell us what your guys' summer rankings is. And then afterwards, we're each going to give a letter grade for each summer, or for the summer in general. So, of course, Jay is our guest. And Jay, we love you, even though you don't like Warcraft for some godly own reason. So before we get to Jay, everyone hashtag #JVaters get a Twitter. Now, after you do that, Jay, you can finally start. Tell us what your so before you get into your top 5 summer films, before we get to your number 5, tell us what your honorable mention is.
All right, honorable mention, just one mention.
Yeah, you can mention a couple if you need to.
Honorable mentions. One is a documentary called 3 Identical Strangers.
Didn't see it, damn it. That's the only one I didn't see.
So good. What a great movie. Basically about these 3 long lost brothers who meet in college and stuff. And basically they find out they're part of like this science experiment, and that's all I'm gonna say. It's absolutely fantastic. And it's a true story. It's amazing. And another honorable mention is 8th Grade.
Oh, good one.
Really?
It's a really good movie.
Dude, it didn't even make my list at all.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
I love how it's directed.
Gucci.
Yeah.
Gucci.
Gucci.
Which, if you guys, a cool little side note is the fact that Gucci thing was actually a nervous tick for Elsie Fisher when she was filming 8th Grade. She actually
really?
came
That's
up with
cute.
that.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cute.
She came up with it, and then Bo Burnham and the entire cast started doing it too.
That's awesome.
Oh,
That's
that's-
awesome.
I love it. That's great. And my last honorable mention is a movie I just saw pretty recently, and I'm actually loving it. The more and more I think about it, and that's Black Klansman, the Spike Lee
Ooh.
movie. I think that
Me
movie
too.
is so good.
I'm glad you
Largely-
mentioned that. I'm glad you mentioned it because it didn't make my list at all. And I did really like the film. It didn't go. I don't know. I think I need to see the film
Did
again.
the ending anger you? Some people said the ending.
So it didn't anger me. I felt like it was not needed. I felt like the ending. I don't want to go into spoilers what it is, but I felt like it wasn't needed. I felt like the message was very cohesive in what it was, and I felt like the ending, while some people might like that he did that, I felt like I try to, when I go to the films, I escape that realism unless I'm going to a documentary, and I felt like it wasn't needed, and I felt like it just extended the runtime, and I didn't want it. I felt like you should have taken out the Alec Baldwin part in the beginning, and then that, and it probably would have been a perfect film. I think it seriously would have been a perfect film. Those were my only 2 cons, were those 2 things, and I didn't hate them. I just felt like they were unnecessary.
I said in the opening of my review, I'm like, Spike Lee did a good movie. Was this 2005? Like, because he hasn't done a movie in so long.
Chirac wasn't bad.
I thought it was okay. The last great movie was Inside Man.
Oh yeah,
I know Denzel, that was
100%.
fucking great. But yeah, this was great. I like Black Klansman. I thought it was
Yeah.
great.
Yeah,
I love
totally
Adam
agree.
Driver, and I love John David.
Yeah.
Washington. They were both so good in that movie.
Yeah. So Cody, what about you? What's your honorable mentions?
Okay, so I actually have 3, just like Jay does, and there might be a 4th, but number 1 for me is actually same as Jay. Black Klansman was in my honorable mentions too, because this is a film I walked out of it.
Racist.
I am personally never going to be seeing this film again. I honestly, it affected me on such an emotional level that and the ending particularly was so difficult for me to watch, which I can understand why some people wouldn't like it, and I can understand why it would ruin the movie experience for them. But for me personally, I felt that it kind of drove the message home of what was going on, and for me personally, it got me to thinking. It got me to thinking how this film can be used as a tool for change as we move forward down the road. That's really how it affected me the most. But overall, I mean, John David Washington, I've personally never seen him in anything, but he's Denzel
great.
Washington.
Watch Ballers. He's so good in that.
He's Denzel Washington's kid, and he's so good. Okay, and then the other two, another one for me is actually Upgrade.
Oh, okay.
Upgrade. I'm not going to say too much about that because it is a film. It's simple. It's basically.
And you can kind of save it because it might be on my list.
I mean, it's dystopian sci-fi, pretty much. It's dystopian sci-fi, and the third one for me.
That was a biopic of Zach's life.
Oh, it
actually, is. Funny enough, this film was actually in another list that Zach's having a little too much fun to share there. This next film was actually on another list that Zach and I did earlier this year, and that's Hereditary.
Oh.
Is Hereditary one of my favorite films of the year? Yeah, but for me personally, I don't classify it personally as a summer movie. Like, I think this more of a film that would come out in either September or October.
Well, it is a summer film because it came out in the summer.
Yeah, I understand that. But, I mean, Hereditary, the best thing about Hereditary...
I just had to say it because you know the trolls are going to say it. And that was a summer film. It came out in the summer, you dumbass.
That's cast there. That's cast there.
Yeah, but then again, how many people are actually going to say Avengers Infinity War is a summer movie, but it's not.
It's not, because it came out in April. That's completely different.
Yeah, but what are the trolls going to say?
The trolls can eat my asshole. I didn't wipe this morning, so it's going to be freshly nice for them.
They're eating mine as we speak.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah,
okay.
so Cody did mention that. There is no Avengers Infinity War on any of our lists. Obviously, it would have made it. Everyone knows it would have made it. But it's not a summer film. I'm sorry, it was an April film. Yes, it was out in the summer during that time, but it wasn't. I wanted to really discuss these films. And before we get into our top 5, this was not completely hard, but it's because there's so many good indie films this summer. The indies stole the summer, in my opinion. 100% stole the summer. 100%. And for me, I pretty much made a cut of any films that pretty much came out last weekend. Any film before that was all summer. I don't include the Meg or Slenderman. I feel like that's like after summer films. So that's just me. I didn't put that. I would have personally put I just saw The Wife. I would have personally put it in there. But my honorable mentions, which some of these are going to surprise people. So you have 8th grade. Sorry to Bother You is on my honorable mention. Really like Sorry to Bother You. And Jay, you said you haven't seen it yet, right?
No, I need to see it.
Okay, so the reason I didn't put it in there is because of the back half of the film. Cody's seen it, so he knows exactly what I'm talking about. Right, Cody?
Yeah, I do.
It kind of lost me.
It's so weird.
Solo, A Star Wars Story's in there.
Oh.
And then one other honorable mention. Didn't make it in. Deadpool 2. Deadpool 2 didn't make it.
Man.
And I'm not going to lie. I almost put it in my most disappointing. But I wasn't disappointed in it. I was just underwhelmed. So, yeah. Okay.
The pedestal of the first one, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, because the first one's one of my favorite films. So it's hard. Like, we've all seen it. I'm not going to spoil just in case someone didn't see it yet and they watch this or listen. And the one problem I had with the film was the beginning. I felt like the thing that happens that starts the story I thought was very disappointing.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Before we continue, there was one other honorable mention that I completely forgot about. I shouldn't have, though. And that's Teen Titans Go.
Oh, yeah.
Teen Titans
Jay
Go.
didn't like it, though.
You know what, Jay? But no, Teen Titans Go, if I remembered it, it would have made my honorable mentions just as a fan of the original source material and a fan of films like Deadpool.
So he's just saying because of that end credit scene is the reason it would have been his honorable mention.
No, I mean, I love Teen I love Teen Titans Go. Yes, that is true. But I love Teen Titans Go pretty much from the beginning to the end of the film. It was so good.
Oh yeah, it was good. So,
I
but
have
guys,
overrated movies. That's one of them. Right?
no. Okay. Well, Jay, we can get into that. So the guys, let's start at number 5. Just give the title and give kind of what it is. So Jay, of course, you're a guest. Give your number 5, man.
It's what Cody said. It's Hereditary. Hereditary is my number 5.
Okay.
I loved this movie. I love horror films when they're done properly. Yeah, Pennywise. But yeah, turning me on.
Oh gosh.
Hereditary, super good. Toni Collette, amazing. Her performance is so good. It's like almost Oscar caliber, and it's like shit your pants scary. It's the Exorcist of this generation. And yes, Zach, I like Exorcist. And
The best comedy ever made, man.
Yeah, you got that right.
it's a good movie.
It is a good movie. It's just a comedy.
Yeah.
I love how atmospheric it is. I love how it takes its time. It's got a lot of same tones as like The Witch and stuff. It really picks up in the third act, and it gets like batshit fucking insane.
Yes.
Yeah, that's for sure.
That's when I stopped watching the film.
I had 2 people actually when I saw the
I remember
theaters.
that.
I had 2 people, a couple. They walked out of the theater because they were actually that disturbed.
I fucking believe it. The only
I
thing
mean,
that sucks about the ending is literally the last 5 minutes. I feel like the last 5 minutes taking it out. Like the second the window part happens, should have just ended right there. Should have just cut right there. Now would have been completely fine. But yeah, that was a good one. So we'll talk about Hereditary more in a second because it might be coming up on my list. Cody, what is your number 5?
My number 5 is actually Incredibles 2.
What the fuck?
Look, like I said,
Number fucking 5? Are you kidding me? What do you have? Jurassic World?
Cody,
You don't have Upgrade. You don't have fucking Upgrade. You don't have fucking Hereditary. But you have fucking Incredibles 2 at number 5.
You just wait.
What ass have you been eating?
what's number 1?
I have a feeling we're going to get into it as the time goes on. But look, if I had
you can't even talk about Incredibles.
if I had my personal choice, every
Fuck you.
every movie.
Fuck you, Cody. Fuck you, Cody. Fuck you, Cody. Fuck you, Cody. Fuck you, Cody.
These are my friends, everybody. These are my
Cody
friends.
Hashtag Cody says fuck. Hashtag Cody says fuck. Hashtag Cody says fuck.
He gives the worst head. He gives the worst head.
Jay, how would you know?
Oh.
How would you know, Jay? Because I've never been to Canada.
Okay, maybe he's been to your home.
I've been to Cody's home.
Oh gosh.
Many times.
Okay, so here's the thing. If I had my choice, I would give every movie that I have listed in my top 5, I would give them a tie for number 1 if I could.
He's trying to defend us that shit.
I love every movie on this list equally, and that is not a joke. I do. But The Incredibles 2, it's a movie I don't have any
Brad Bird
flaws
doesn't
with.
love you anymore.
This movie I don't have any problems with. It's a better sequel, in my personal opinion, than a lot of sequels we've gotten over the past few years. And
No, you like Cars 2 more.
It is a better because you know what, Cars 2.
Jesus
sucked.
is watching you from behind you, and for people who are listening, Jesus is behind him on a picture, and he's just looking at him in disappointment. Like Jesus is going to turn into the nun right now and walk up behind him and choke him.
I wouldn't doubt it. I would not doubt it. What? You know what? I'm just gonna stop talking. So Zach, what's your number 5?
Sicario 2, awesome, great sequel.
Are
Not
you
as good as the
kidding
original.
me?
Not as good
Are
as the
you
original.
kidding me?
What? It's great. It's a great sequel. Not as good as the original, but it was still a solid film. Great action beats, very intense, on the edge of your seat. I think it's better action than the original. I think there's stronger action than in the original. That Isabella girl is fantastic. And yeah, Sicario 2.
Solid.
Yeah, it's a good choice. Sicario 2 was really, really good. I enjoyed it. And there were a couple of problems I had with the movie, which is why I didn't make it on any of my lists. But overall, it's really enjoyable.
You know why I put it there, though? I think specifically is because it really had big balls. Like, it's very disturbing in the beginning. And I love that I love when films go that far. I know a lot of people won't, and I get that part. When people say they hate this film, totally understand, but just saying I really enjoyed it. So, but Jay, what's your number 4?
Number 4. It's weird that I'm mentioning all these documentaries. Won't You Be My Neighbor? It's number 4.
Oh yeah, that came out.
Yeah, I love this documentary about Mr. Rogers. I knew nothing about Mr. Rogers, and his life's interesting. It's interesting, all the stuff he had to go through and the way he helps children and stuff. It's interesting. It's heartwarming. It's endearing. It's even a little upsetting. And yeah, I fell in love with this documentary. I was just enthralled from start to finish. I saw this back to back with Three Identical Strangers. Very different tones.
Which one was better?
This was better. I liked Three Identical Strangers, but it was much longer. It was like 2 hours 10 minutes, and this one had a good flow to it, good pace to it. It was well edited, and I loved this story about this man, and I loved it. It was one of my favorite films of the year.
Awesome.
It's a fantastic documentary.
Yeah, it's not on my list, and I wish I would have gotten it there. And I really liked it. I think it's a film I need to revisit again because, again, I'm not a huge Mr. Rogers fan, but I think it's a film that everyone does need to see because I think it really brings out the best in humanity in that movie, and I love films that do that. But Cody, of course, we're going to your number 4, and Jesus Christ, I can't wait to rant on this one. Just say it.
Okay, well, number 4 for me is Leave No Trace.
Oh, no, that's fine. It's not on my list. I put it in a different category, but no, that's fine.
Yeah, no, Leave No Trace for me. It is a film that blew me away. Like, I knew nothing about it. I believe I didn't really know anything about the film until you started talking to me about it. And Ben Foster, Mackenzie, I can't remember the girl's full name.
Mackenzie Davis.
No, it's not Mackenzie Davis.
Bullshit.
What's in it? Tom McKenzie. Tom McKenzie, I believe, is the actress's name. Thomasin McKenzie.
Okay, there we go. We're all done.
Her performance out of all the performances we've gotten from
still 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. Still 100% on Rotten Tomatoes after 161.
Yeah, dude. I mean, Thomasin McKenzie, as far as actresses go from this entire year, is the one that surprised me the most. I've never seen her in anything before, and the performance she gave was so nuanced and so shy and so just down and afraid that it really struck a chord with me. And by the end of the film, I was just in full-blown tears. I've seen the film 3 times now because there's a little indie film theater right by my house, and this film, it's heartbreaking, and it's interesting because very much I take this film kind of like a silent film genre film because a good 50-60% of the film isn't spoken at all. It's just traveling in the looks that the actors give. And of course,
it's the Last of Us film we've always wanted without the zombies.
Exactly. That's a perfect description. And Ben Foster, nobody can say anything bad about that man.
No, he's great.
Amazing.
I wouldn't be surprised if he's in talks. Even if he doesn't get nominated, he's going to be in talks for the
Leave
Oscars
No Trace. No, I think Leave No Trace will end up being good time for this year. I think this will be, it's raved about, and no one sees it.
Yeah, which is a shame.
I think this film and You Were Really Never Here, is that what that one was called with Joaquin Phoenix?
Oh, yeah.
I think both of those are. And I'll talk about Leave No Trace later because it's on a different one on my list, but I'll just say that I really like Leave No Trace, and the more I thought about it, the more it struck me. Like, the more, like, I really liked it. And I was, because I gave it, like, a B originally, and I probably would have bumped it up to an A. I think it's incredible.
Alrighty.
So my number 4 now, right?
Yep.
Hereditary. Loved it.
Okay.
Loved Hereditary. But I've seen the film 3 times now, and that ending really killed it for me. That 5 minutes is horrible. I think the last 5 minutes is trash. Besides that, though, film's perfect. It's one of the scariest films I've ever seen. And I know some people think it's funny. I don't get how. Like, Cody was there when we watched it together, and I'm pretty sure if you looked over at me, my jaw, like, my face was Nat Wolf's face the whole time. Like, when we walked out, I wasn't even talking to anyone. Like, I was just in complete stunned, and it was bad. It was a bad feeling, but man, that film.
I mean, even when you went out to talk to the guy you had to tell your stuff about your opinion on the film, he was just sitting there waiting, and you're like, I need to process this for a couple of days.
Yeah, it's tough. It's a really good movie. Really good. I cannot wait to see what Ari Aster does.
I saw that movie with a friend of mine from work, and he was shaking after, because he doesn't do horror films, a friend of mine.
Fuck you.
And he was like shaking after the movie was done. I'm like, are you okay? He's
I remember this girl came up to me at work and she's like, I thought Ouija was better than Hereditary. And I literally looked at her. I'm like, the first Ouija or the second one? If you say the second one, I won't get too mad, but the first one? And she's like, no, the first one. I was like, how? And she's like, Hereditary was just boring. I'm like, how the fuck was it boring? She's like, it wasn't scary. I'm like, so you don't think real world drama, like death in real life, is scary? You're fucking ghetto. All right, guys, let's move on to our number 3. Jay, what's your number 3?
Incredibles 2. Incredibles 2.
I don't know if anyone just saw my face in the little box, but my eyes got so fucking big when you said that. Did anyone else see that, or was it just me? Because I watched it and I was like...
No, I saw it.
Okay. Jay?
Incredibles 2. I loved Incredibles 2.
Watching the end of the day, it's not even on my list.
This is a sequel we've been waiting for and waiting for.
I'm still waiting for Cars 4.
Yeah,
of course he is. Or Toy Story 4.
Dude, shut the fuck up. That's like one of my most anticipated films of next year. I'm so excited for that movie.
See, that's why that's the more realistic answer and not Cars 4, because Cars is dumb.
Dude, I will literally go to the theater with all my original Toy Story toys. I have Buzz and Woody. I'm so ready for that film.
Dude, you should dress up like Woody.
I already have my Woody hanging out right now.
My Buzz, my Woody.
No, I got Bo Peep, Jesse. I got Woody. And he likes to buzz around, bitch.
All right, let's continue, shall we?
What were we talking about again? Something about
the Lord and Savior Jesus.
Forgive me, Jesus.
Incredibles 2, though.
Incredibles 2.
Yeah.
I liked how they did with Mr. Incredible. He has to be the stay-at-home dad. I wish Dash had more of an arc in the film, but I still liked him. I still thought he was funny and stuff. It was mostly everyone else had an arc but him. Even Jack. And I loved Jack. And him with the raccoon and everything. Him with Edna. Oh, so funny. It's beautifully animated. It's got good action, especially when it opens, and especially the ending sequence with them on the boat. It's an all-around great style flick, and it's a film I've been waiting for a long time, and it delivered.
Hey, fair enough. Cody, what about you? What's your number 3?
Okay, so my number 3 is Won't You Be My Neighbor?
Okay, awesome choice.
I love this documentary.
Hey, where's your sweater at, Cody?
You know what? Shut up. I will do that one day. I'm not doing it now, though. But honestly, Won't You Be My Neighbor is one of those... There were a few films that actually affected me when I got out of the movie theater, and I'm like, yeah, this film is going to spur me to try to become a better person. Paddington 2 was one of them. Christopher Robin was another, and then Won't You Be My Neighbor was probably the most powerful example of all of those.
Christopher Robin's in your number 5, isn't it?
What, you mean my number 1?
Fuck you. If Fallout's your number 2, I'm gonna fucking scream.
Oh, you just wait. Okay, so Won't You Be My Neighbor? Honestly, the way it told a story about Fred Rogers, I can't say I've been affected by a documentary this much since I watched a documentary about Jim Henson. I mean, just the way.
Really? I see. I've never seen the Jim Henson one. The only documentary that's really struck me more than this one was 13 by Ava DuVernay.
Oh yeah,
I thought that was so powerful.
By the way, guys, have any of you watched the Rob Williams documentary?
No, not yet. I want to. I need to.
It is amazing.
Is it out? Is it out?
Yeah. You can go on HBO if you have HBO, or you can go on.
Oh, it's on HBO?
Yeah.
Oh fuck! I'm doing that today then.
Yes, it is.
Fuck the Avengers 4K.
Yeah. Come inside my mind, Rob Williams. It is. Fantastic.
I'm gonna have to. I love Rob Williams.
But that's really all I had to say. Won't You Be My Neighbor was a fantastic documentary that makes me want to be a better person, and that's why it's my number 3. I love it.
Awesome. I'm glad to hear that. Well, my number 3 is Upgrade. Now, I've seen this film like 5 times now. I fucking love Upgrade. This is the Venom film that I want and the Venom film that I will probably only get. And I love Upgrade just so much. This action is so freaking amazing. Like Mortal Kombat. Me and Cody have been preaching this. Leigh Whannell, I know James Wan is producing the Mortal Kombat film. If Leigh Whannell is not the director of that film, then I do not care to see it. He is the only director I can see at this point directing that film and making the action great. Upgrade is a fantastic sci-fi thriller that's cheesy at times, but totally works. It's RoboCop meets Venom.
It absolutely is. And you know what's funny? One of the best scenes of that entire movie, and I think it was the scene that you and I went ooh at the same time, and I'm pretty sure we had the same thought process that he should direct a Mortal Kombat film.
The first part.
It's not only that; it's when he's in the bathroom and he grab don't go
into too much detail. Not a lot of people have seen it.
Oh, that is true. Let's just say there is a scene involving there's a scene involving a kitchen knife that you guys should look forward to.
Yes, in a dirty bathroom. Jay, what were your thoughts on Upgrade, real fast?
I liked it. I gave it a 7.8 out of 10.
Yeah, see, we gave it a C plus, Cody. We gave it like a C plus or a B minus, right?
B minus, yeah.
I love Logan Marshall Green. I think he's a very underrated actor.
Dude, yeah. Ever since I saw The Invitation, the guy's like always been on my radar.
And the comedy from that movie is all on his facial expressions. That's where the comedy is. It is.
That's why I think he's so good. Did you guys ever see The Invitation, real fast?
Yes.
Amazing film.
Amazing. That ending is.
Oh yeah, lanterns.
Yeah. So guys, let's get to our number 2 real fast. Jay, what's your number 2?
Number 2. Okay, this is actually probably my favorite movie of the year. But if we're talking about summer movies, like I categorize summer films in like a different thing. But because my number 1, I think, is the best summer movie, just as a summer movie. But number 2 is probably like one of my favorite films of the year, and that's Leave No Trace.
Oh, yes, great.
Yes.
Ben Foster is amazing. Thompson McKenzie is amazing. It takes its time, and it's not afraid. Like, I know a lot of movies just don't want to get into the plot, but this movie takes its time. It builds on atmosphere, builds on character, and it's so good. I love how it's directed. I love how it's structured, and I think it's easily one of the best films of the year. And fun fact, actually, my review for this, one of the actresses from the movie commented on my YouTube channel.
Really?
Yes.
It's probably because you were like one of the first ones to review the film. Because that's when I was like looking for reviews after I saw it. I'm like, oh, Jay saw it. Because Jay sees everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, great choice. Great choice. Cody, what about you?
Now I'm with Jay on this one. To where I categorize films like this when it comes to summer movies. I do categorize regular films and summer movies.
It's fucking Fallout.
Which one's Zach? Which one's Fallout?
Your number 2 is Fallout.
Nope.
It's Christopher Robin.
Nope.
What is it? What the fuck?
My number 2 is 8th grade.
Oh, 8th grade.
Gucci. Yeah, dude. 8th grade is a film I have seen.
That's probably how Cody was in 8th grade.
I'm not getting into my 8th grade story because my life from the time I was 18 months old to all the way through high school was miserable. And there's a long story for that. But
documentary right there.
Actually, yeah, it kind of is. It kind of is. And I may or may not be writing a book about it right now. But
People versus Cody Curtis.
8th grade. 8th grade is one of those films that I liked it the first time I saw it, but the more I thought about it and the more times I did watch it, the more I loved the movie. Elsie Fisher is a star in the making, and Bo Burnham, the fact that he was able to make a film that is maybe not as good as, but pretty close to the same quality that Edge of 17 was.
Oh, I think it was better.
Really?
I think this is the best coming-of-age film. I think it's better than Lady Bird. I think it's better than Edge of 17. I think it's better than all those.
You know what? I may have to agree with you on that, and there's one specific reason. It's because Bo Burnham, above anything else, he showed the most realistic coming of age film I think I've ever seen. Like, I love The Breakfast Club, I love Lady Bird, I love Edge of 17, I love all of those, but
This is very realistic. It's very realistic.
8th Grade is more realistic than I think I've ever seen a coming of age film ever be. And that's mostly because of how he uses technology. Lady Bird and Edge of 17 are fine, but they never really delve into the drama of what it's like coming of age. 8th Grade delves into the drama and the technology and social media and how all of that affects a person growing up, especially if you get Snapchat in 5th grade as opposed to 8th grade.
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
I mean, 8th grade.
It's the kids' attitudes, dude. The way the kids act, like that is so fucking 8th grade right there.
It's so like that one, like the boy guy, the guy that she likes, like he's so funny. Like he's just his facial reactions, like it's just so great. 8th Grade's great film, but we're gonna move on to my number 2. My number 2 is The Incredibles. I don't really know what else to say since you guys have already fucking mentioned it. It's great. I love The Incredibles too. It was fantastic. Jack stole the whole show. Elastigirl Holly Hunter is the love of my life, and she's thick as fuck.
Of course,
Mr. Incredible's great. I mean, seriously, everything's great. I am with Jay though. I would have liked to see more of Dash. I think Dash. I would have liked to see a little bit more of him. And I will say, Violet was a very nice addition. The action's stunning. The animation's amazing. Screenslayer, okay villain, but seriously, what a fantastic movie. What a fantastic film. Seriously.
The comedy with Violet were probably the parts that I laughed.
When the water came out her nose, I almost pissed my pants.
Yeah, that was hysterical.
So I think we all have the same number 1.
Yeah,
I'm gonna assume
think we do too.
So on the count of 5,
3?
let's just all say it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Mission
Impossible Fallout. Did you say fucking Gotti?
Of course he did. Of course he did.
But Jay, you mean Fallout? Let's be honest.
Yeah. It is the best summer film of this year. It is.
It's one of the best films of this year.
It is one of the best films of this year.
So good, dude.
And it does feel like a summer movie. It feels like a summer movie.
I think this film is top notch, the most intense Mission Impossible film, the most fast paced Mission Impossible film.
Yeah.
And I think it's also the first Mission Impossible film where a lot of the films are exposition action scene. This one's different. It goes exposition, action, with little bits of exposition all the way through it. The whole entire time, it just feels like a time bomb is about to go off, and you just have to catch it. You have to go after it, and it feels like the stakes are just rising every single second. Tom Cruise is magnificent. Henry Cavill is magnificent, and man, oh man, that bathroom scene is some of the best action ever in a film. Christopher McQuarrie, I'm saying this. If George Miller can get a nomination for Mad Max Fury Road, this film deserves a nomination too, and so does he.
Fuck yeah.
It absolutely does, and personally for me, I didn't know what I was expecting going into Mission Impossible Fallout. And after I came out, like I've already said, that the action genre is not my favorite genre of film. I enjoy action movies, but Mission Impossible Fallout is one that I really enjoyed after coming out. But the more I thought about it and the more I see it a couple more times, I love this movie. And the fact of what Christopher McQuarrie is able to do with switching tones and feeling like a completely different director than what he did with Rogue Nation is impressive. He went from creating a really decent action film with Rogue Nation, and then with Fallout, he created an action masterpiece that is very similar to Mad Max Fury Road in the fact that it just does not stop. And for me personally, out of everybody in the film, I love Tom Cruise, I love Ving Rhames, I love the entire crew that's behind here. And Simon Pegg, of course, is fantastic. The person who stood out for me in Fallout was Henry Cavill. Henry Cavill. The fact that
if my arms could swing like that, like they're pumping his shotgun, shit, I would be getting all the ladies.
I mean,
walk up at the bar.
And if you had a mustache as beautiful as his, you definitely get the ladies.
He can pull it off.
It's beautiful.
I mean,
they should have just left it in a Superman. That's the one thing I don't understand. Why didn't they just let Superman have a beard? He was dead. It's like he came back to life. Why didn't you just let him have the beard?
I have no idea.
I don't know.
It literally would have made more sense. You fucking idiot.
I mean, what it comes down to, as far as anybody else, the person who stood out the most for me in Fallout was Henry Cavill and his performance, because not just the fact that it was a great performance, he also did something No spoilers, of course. He did something that none of us have seen before in Mission Impossible Fallout.
That's true. Jay, you got any thoughts about Fallout?
Well, check me and Zach and Reddit when we did a whole spoiler talk on it. I loved this movie. I thought it was beautifully shot. The action's got some of the best action of this decade. When they jump out in the plane, fucking great.
The fact that they jumped out like 100 times for that scene.
Yeah.
And he broke his ankle, and he was still doing that. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And it's got sprinkles of comedy in it. Tom Cruise is just a star, just an action movie star, and he fears nothing, and it's amazing. He's badass in the movie. Henry Cavill is amazing. I've given Henry Cavill shit a few times on my channel, but I loved him in this movie, and yeah, credit where credit's due. And Christopher McQuarrie's direction's so good. The score was fantastic. The editing is sharp, and I absolutely love it.
Okay, so you say you give him shit, Jay. My question to both of you is, what are your guys' thoughts on Man of Steel? Real fast, just a score.
Oh, the score. Yeah.
Like, how would you give a score? Like 9 out of 10, 8 out of 10?
Okay, well, if I'm going to go with letters here, because I've never done that, at this point in my life, after how many times I've seen Man of Steel, I would give it an A+. I think it's a masterpiece.
What about you, Jay?
D+.
What?
Are you fucking kidding me?
Jay!
Can't stand that movie.
Jay, when was the last time you watched it?
2-3 years ago.
Yeah,
really rewatch it. Rewatch it. Not even joking, dude. I was at like a C the first time I watched it, and it's at a fucking A for me now.
Yeah.
Really recommend it, dude. Really recommend it.
Yeah.
But guys, we're gonna move on to the most underrated / overlooked films. So how we're gonna do this one? Just name a couple of them, and then just give your overall thoughts on them, and then we'll do Cody's, then mine. So, Jay, again, we're going to start with you. What's your most overlooked or underrated films of this year?
All right. Do you want me to just do one film or
just do 3, like up to 3 if you need to.
Underrated / overlooked. One of them was Damsel with Robert Pattinson.
I didn't see that.
Western comedy. I really enjoyed it. Really fun. American Animals was pretty good.
Yeah.
I thought it was a fun film. But the most overlooked, underrated film, I think, is The Tale. This movie was
never heard of it. I've never heard of it.
No.
Okay, I'll tell you. It stars Laura Dern and Elizabeth Debicki, Jason Ritter, John Hurd. Basically, it's about this filmmaker, Jennifer Fox, who wrote and directed the film, and Laura Dern plays Jennifer Fox.
Oh shit! Yeah, I remember this film now.
And it's about her first sexual experience. And it basically didn't go the way she planned. And I don't want to spoil it because it doesn't spoil it in the synopsis. So
yeah, it does. I just read it.
So
don't read the synopsis. Don't read the synopsis. I just read it. It spoils what it is.
Okay. It is a terrific film. Laura Dern is absolutely incredible in this film. The way
better than Last Jedi?
Yes. The way she comes to terms with it all, because when she was a kid, it was okay, but now she thinks about it, she's like, this was not okay. And then she meets the guy at the ending, played by John Hurd, and it is one of my favorite scenes in a film this year. It's in my top 5 favorite scenes in a film this year. It's just such a I can't spoil, but the way she.
Awesome. I'm gonna have to go watch it now. Did you watch it in theaters or is it on a streaming service?
I watched it in theaters months and months ago. I got a screening for it, and I was blown away by it. I thought it was so good. It's a little hard to watch in some moments, but it is a terrific film.
Awesome.
Laura Dern is amazing, and yeah.
Awesome. Well, Cody, what are your 3 most overlooked or underrated films?
Okay, 3 most overlooked or underrated. First one for me is Tully.
Yeah, Tully's great.
Oh, yeah, Tully was good.
Yeah, because
the ending kind of took me out of it, but
I mean, so did a lot of other films this year, but Tully's definitely one of them because although we all agree that Tully is a really fantastic film with a great performance by Charlize Theron.
See, I don't think nobody saw. I think Mackenzie was the big standout for me.
I love Mackenzie Davis. I think she's so good.
Yeah, she was great in it, but I mean, the point it comes down to is it's a good film. It's just nobody went to see it.
Oh yeah, no one did.
Nobody went to see it, and although it was already in my top 10 list, another underrated or overlooked film this year is Leave No Trace.
Yeah.
Like, admit it is one of my personal favorite films of this entire year. But once again, it's a film that nobody went to see and nobody's talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And lastly, for me, this was a film that I thoroughly enjoyed over the course of the summer, and it's one of my favorite comedies of the summer. But I don't think I ever heard anybody talk to me except you guys about Tag.
Oh, dude, you have like the same list as me. Fuck you.
Dude. Like nobody went to see or talked about Tag anymore, and I don't understand why.
Yeah, I thought Tag was great. I thought Tag was funny, brilliant. That's on my list. Leave No Trace is another one on my list. So I love Tag. I love Leave No Trace. I really, really love Tag. I thought it was funny and heartwarming. But a film that you guys have both, I think Jay saw it. I don't know about you, Cody. It's called First Reformed. This is one of the most underrated films of this year.
Yeah,
First Reformed is brilliant. It's shooketh, whatever the fucking word would be called. But it is a film that needs to be seen. Shooketh.
It's shooketh?
Have you ever never seen that Vine?
No.
I hate you. But First Reformed is brilliant. That's all I'll leave it. Ethan Hawke's best performance of his career.
Yeah, I'll try to see if I can see it. I have not.
It comes out on Blu-ray next week. Blu-ray next week. So and it's on digital right now. It's on digital right now.
All right.
Now we get to the worst summer films. I want to start with this one because I know me and Jay have the same fucking one. Right, Jay? We have the same fucking one.
So.
What is it? I gotta hear this. Come on.
Fucking garbage. Fuck this movie. Fuck this movie. I fucking hated this movie. I walked out the last 10 minutes because I said this is not getting any fucking better. This movie was garbage beyond belief. Fucking trash out of the fucking ass type shit. Just horrible fucking directing. Horrible fucking performances. Horrible fucking makeup. Just absolute trash. I could have shit in my fucking toilet and made fucking better cinematic masterpiece than this fucking piece of shit.
It's like
Hot Summer Night was pretty bad too.
It's like if Goodfellas had like a mental deformity.
It's like if Goodfellas had a fucking stroke.
Yeah. Did you ever get Zach? Did you get hate on your comment section? I had some people.
Yes, people were fucking screaming at me. I'm like, are you fucking kidding? I will say this. John Travolta's performance was not horrible.
No, it's just bad.
But the whole film around him, like, they make his son wear fucking glasses to make him look like older.
It's the Clark Kent effect.
and then Gotti, fucking John Travolta's makeup looked like a fucking White Walker from Game of Thrones.
And basically, it's just they put a lot of swearing to make them sound badass because that's how crime bosses talk. They just
I'm a fucking badass. I'm a fucking mob boss. I'm gonna shoot the motherfucker in the face. Blah blah blah. But the thing about the film that just makes it bad is it just feels like it's just scenes after scenes after scenes. There's no fucking story to it. That's the issue with the film.
I felt like the writers or whoever wrote this film, they just went on the Wikipedia page of Gotti and they just like put sprinkles of his life. They're like, oh yeah, that was part of his life. Oh, that was part of his life. They just like
it's like they had a board on the fucking floor with everything that's about his life, and just each time they jacked off, they fucking came on one of the parts. And then they shit all over the board too.
Oh my gosh!
Wow! And you know what's crazy? I've seen a film worse than that this year.
Oh my!
Yeah, called Slender fucking Man.
Slender Man was garbage. That was bad.
It was awful.
Gotti was at least garbagely bad. So
okay.
Slender Man.
All right.
What's your worst, Cordy?
Well, I know for a fact that Jay is going to agree with me. You're probably going to yell at me about Solo being better about Jurassic World being better than Solo. But yes, my worst of the year is Jurassic World, or for the summer.
Are you fucking kidding me? Really? That bad?
Look, dude, I hate Jurassic World, and the reason
I fucking hate you.
The reason why I
be on that board while I do that.
Dude, what is wrong with you?
What's the fuck's wrong with you? Incredibles 2 at number 5 and fucking Jurassic World is your worst?
Dude, Jurassic World, it's literally a film that rips off everything that was good about the first Jurassic Park movie.
Well, you ripped it off too.
So much.
You're
How did I
ripping
rip
off
it
me.
off? How am I ripping off you?
Fuck you.
Did you think Slender Man was better or worse than Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom?
Cody, you better fucking give the right answer to this or else I'm fucking
No. Here, you and I both agree that Slender Man is the worst film of the summer. But the fact of the matter is the fact that I thought we agreed that we weren't exactly counting Slender Man as
No, we're not.
He's just
asking a question.
Yeah, no. If we were gonna count the end of August as summer movies, I would say Slender Man all the way. Slender Man is a piece of
Okay, be
garbage.
honest with me. Is Jurassic World in your top 10 worst films of this year?
No, it's not.
Okay.
It's just.
I was about to say it's not bad. I found it to be more disappointing. It's in my most disappointing spoilers, but that's where that one is.
I mean, honestly, I guess the problem is I haven't seen a lot of bad movies during the summer. I haven't seen a lot of bad movies during the summer. That's really the only reason why Jurassic World is on my worst list for the summer. Because if I had seen a film that was really, really bad. Yeah, it didn't come out in my area. Otherwise,
no, I guarantee it did because that thing went fucking wide release everywhere and no one went to see it.
Well, it's weird because when you guys were talking about it, I looked for a theater. The one theater that had it in the state of Maine was about 5 hours north. And
thank God they saved your fucking life then. Your state must have had something.
But yes, I have come to terms with Jurassic World. Jurassic World, it's a fun, destructive movie. But does that mean it's good? No. It's a fun, destructive movie, and the first act is fantastic. And although I have problems with the last act, at this point, I find the last act to be fun because I think the horror elements, I think the direction is there, and I think they tried. It's just they fell flat on their face. $20 million!
No, you did it wrong. It's $20 million. You got to do Russian accent under your voice, you stupid fuck. First you say Jurassic World is bad, the worst film of the summer. Now you talking shit. Fuck you.
Great.
Fuck your everyone.
Oh, great.
Behind you all disappointed. He's the one who killed the dinosaurs. Fuck you. Fuck you and fuck you.
Jay,
this is demonetized.
Jay, you should realize at this point that this is the same Russian I had to travel with back from California when we drove back to Arizona. This is the same Russian. Good to see you too. Good to see you too. Good to see you too, buddy.
I'm Canadian.
Good to see you too.
Hey, buddies. Hey.
I love Canadians. So, okay, let's get to the most disappointing films of the summer. Jay, you start.
Disappointing was a little different for me because a lot of films that I knew I was gonna like, I liked. I had no hope for Jurassic World, as we saw when we did the summer podcast last time. I had no hope for it. But there's a movie I was looking forward to, and it did suck really bad. That was Mary Shelley.
I didn't see it.
Mary Shelley, I love Mary Shelley because I love Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. I love the book. I thought a concept and the idea of how Mary Shelley came up with the idea of Frankenstein. I'm like, oh, that sounds like a cool idea. It's Elle Fanning. I like Elle Fanning. This movie was so boring, so dull, so lifeless. Like, oh, it's like Frankenstein's monster on screen, a lifeless monster. This movie, I hated it. I couldn't stand it. I thought Elle Fanning wasn't even trying. I thought she gave a lackluster performance, and she's a great actress, but my God, she did not show her talent in this film. It's just a romance that doesn't work. No chemistry. And it's like 2 hours long, and I was bored out of my mind. I'm like, oh, God, I wanted to like this movie, but it sucked.
Okay, fair enough. Cody, what's yours?
I actually have 3. So the first disappointment for me, it's not that I didn't enjoy the movie, I did, but one of my disappointments was Hotel Artemis.
That's on mine too. That's on mine too.
I thoroughly enjoyed Hotel Artemis. I thought it was a blast to watch, but I was expecting a lot more from it. The next one for me was Ocean's 8.
What the fuck? Really? I thought it was fun.
No. I'm not, like I said, I'm not saying these are bad movies. Everything on my disappointments list, I was expecting more from, but I still enjoyed in the theater. As example, with my last one on my list, the last disappointment for me for the summer was Solo: A Star Wars Story. That was a film that was disappointing to me. Now, did I enjoy it? I enjoy it? Yes. Yes. I enjoyed Solo. I thought Solo was a good movie. I thought Solo was a good movie. I thought Solo was a good movie. It's just the first act of it I thought was slow, and I thought slow. Mrs. Feminist Droid Bot can go die in a fire. Okay,
you're a fucking feminist.
Dude.
I hope to die in a fire. That's how I want to die.
Okay. I'm going to get to my most disappointing. So Hotel Artemis is one of mine. I thought there was more potential there. I still enjoyed it. I thought it was a ton of fun.
Yeah.
My next one is
Odie!
Oh shit. How the fuck you get in here? The door's shut. What the fuck? How did my dog get in here? The door's shut.
Teleported.
Nah, I got like baby Jack. What the fuck? Okay, my other one is Unfriended Dark Web. I really liked the first Unfriended. I thought there's issues with it, but I thought it led for a good premise. And that's why I'm really hoping to see Searching soon, because I think that film looks awesome.
It does look good.
Yeah. Unfriended Dark Web, though, my problem with the film is I thought the Dark Web material that they were building up was awesome. I don't know. Did you guys see Unfriended Dark Web at all? Did either of you guys see it?
No.
So I thought everything they did with the Dark Web in the beginning was so intriguing, so awesome. And then the last 30 minutes just became a generic horror film again. And there's two endings to the film. And I got the best one. The other one was horrible. And I thought my ending was horrible. So there's a lot of issues with that film, but I thought there was some good stuff in there. The other disappointing film for me this year, and not a lot of people saw, was Don't Worry, He Won't Get Far on Foot. Still really liked it. I thought the performances is what made that film the best, but my problem with it was the story structure. And I feel like the cartoon artist, I cannot think today. His name is John Callahan, who is a great cartoon artist. It's very disappointing that I felt like the story structure could have been a little bit better. And then if I do want to throw another one in there, I think Skyscraper, I think it should have been rated R. Sorry. It should have been rated R, and it should have gone, I think it should have gone more balls to the wall. Like, Meg was better than that film.
Yeah, it was.
So, yeah, that's my most disappointing. So, overall, with our summer thoughts, how would you guys rank this summer? Like, what letter grade would you give it? Jay, what was it?
Can I do overrated movies?
Yeah, you can do one.
Oh, just one? Okay. I only have two. And that's Teen Titans Go and Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again.
I'm not saying my opinion on any of those because we'll get hate comments.
Here's my problems with Mamma Mia.
You didn't like Teen Titans Go?
No.
I love how I was the only one that mentioned Deadpool 2 in my honorable mentions, and no one even had it on their list.
Yeah. Well, Deadpool 2 was fun, but
yeah. It was just good. It was just for me. It was a good movie.
No, but for real. What's your letter grade, Jay, for the whole summer?
The whole summer. I don't think this is like an amazing summer, to be honest. I thought it was good. Again, the indies were the best part. Like a lot of my favorites, like What You Be My Neighbor, Leave No Trace, and Hereditary. Like these are like my favorites. The big blockbusters, some of them were pretty disappointing.
There wasn't a lot this summer though. Like last summer had way more summer films.
Yeah,
and most of them were good.
And if we didn't have Fallout, this would be just like nothing. Thank God for Fallout. Oh no, it was.
I know Pirates of the Caribbean came out last summer. That was great.
Yeah.
Fuck you. That film's amazing.
I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun.
Amazingly bad, yes.
No, fuck you.
Jay, you're bad. Come on.
Okay, but for real, what's your grade?
But I'll give it a B. I'll give it a B for the summer.
Okay, what about you, Cody?
Me, now I take into perspective when it comes to what I've discovered about myself is I am more of an indie guy than anything else. I enjoy really great indie films, but I find that there were a few really enjoyable summer blockbusters for me, like Mission Impossible Fallout. I enjoyed Solo. I enjoyed Ocean's 8. I enjoyed. And although this summer wasn't spectacular, the indies did make it up for me. So I'd give this summer like a B+.
Okay, so I guess I'm the lowest grade. I thought this was a good summer for indie films. Fantastic year for summer films, or for indie films, but I really did feel like there was no big summer films this year. Yeah, Ant-Man and the Wasp was great, which none of us mentioned.
No.
Deadpool 2 was fun. And I thought Fallout was amazing. I thought Incredibles 2 was great. But as like summer films, like last year we had Baby Driver, Spider-Man Homecoming, Dunkirk, Guardians of the Galaxy 2, Wonder Woman, Alien Covenant,
War for the Planet of the Apes.
War for the Planet of the Apes, Pirates of the Caribbean. King Arthur was underrated last year, I thought.
Wait, but are we gonna count War for the Planet of the Apes as a blockbuster film? Because I thought it was more
film. That's a blockbuster film.
I thought it was more of an indie film. At least that's what it felt like.
Dude, it's a $150 million film. That is no fucking indie film. And then didn't Blade Runner come out last summer too?
No, it came out in October.
Oh, okay, it came out in October. But even like I liked Valerian last year. I know people didn't like it, but that's a fun summer stupid sci-fi film. Atomic Blonde had some great action. I just felt like last year had more summer films. And yeah, there was even great indie films like last year, like Ingrid Goes West, It Comes at Night, The Big Sick. You just go from there. The Beguiled, the Book of Henry was weird, but good, I thought. And I don't know. I felt like last summer was way better. This year, it's just weird because there's nothing huge coming. Like Avengers is out. That's it. There's nothing else for the rest of the year. Like I could die tomorrow and I'd be fine.
I felt like the summer movies came out before summer. Like Avengers, Ready Player One. Like these felt like summer movies, but they didn't come out in the summer.
Oh, that's the interesting thing that I find is compared to last year, even looking forward with what we've got coming up, it feels like this year is just going to be. It feels like this year might be subpar compared to last year because
it's all smaller films this year now.
Yeah, I mean, if we look at the films we got last year, I mean, getting out of the summer season last year, we had It, we had Blade Runner, we had what were some other
Justice League to look forward to? I'm not saying everyone loved it, but I'm just saying Justice League did come out last year.
Yeah, I mean, let's see. Oh yeah, we had Star Wars: The Last Jedi. Not getting into that, but it seemed like last year, we've got films to look forward to. I mean,
this year, we have Bad Times at the El Royale, we have Bohemian Rhapsody, we have First Man, we have smaller films, but like the big films for the rest of the year, it's like Aquaman looks fun, Venom looks scary. I don't know. Scary kind of take different ways. I'm hoping it's good.
There's Fantastic Beasts.
Bumblebee looks good. Bumblebee looks probably like one of the best films of this year. Just saying.
I hate Transformers, but that actually does look good.
It looks really good. Looks like Iron Giant vibes.
It's not Michael Bay. It's Travis Knight.
Mary Poppins.
That looks good.
I feel like there's another big animated film coming out this year.
Oh, isn't there the
the internet?
Yes, Wreck-It Ralph. I mean, it just seems like there's, and then Alita Battle Angel. Why was that not this summer? That film would have done so well this summer. If you threw it in like the middle, like right before Skyscraper, in between Fallout, it would have done great.
I have a feeling that film's not going to do well at all.
No, it's coming out the same fucking week as Mortal Engines and fucking Aquaman.
Oh
That's the stupidest time to release it.
There's the Mortal Engines thing, and then we also have the Nutcracker movie coming out. Oh, come on. You don't think that looks good?
No.
I guess I'm the only one.
I guess I should get my letter grade because I've been talking for so long. My letter grade would be a C+.
Okay.
But that's summer films. Like if I'm grading on just the indie films, A. Fucking A. This year for indie films has been spectacular. Probably even better than last year, honestly.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm getting to this. But guys, that is our summer movie review. We reviewed the whole summer, and this was a ton of fun. Before we get going, though, Jay, thank you so much for joining us. Where can they find you at, man?
They can find me in Canada. Don't come to my house, though.
He lives in Canada.
I live actually Barrie, Ontario. Blah blah blah. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, you can find me on YouTube, Jay Vaters on YouTube. I do movie reviews, top 10s, rankings, all that fun fucking shit. Check me out. I'm pretty entertaining in my head, but I could not be entertaining. I could just be awful.
I mean, especially when people like Gotti and you didn't.
I know. Like, everyone's like, "Oh, the movie's a masterpiece." I'm like, "You don't get some fucking taste."
Yeah, you know what? That's exactly what it was like for Zach and I when we posted the review of Hereditary.
It's not that scary. Fuck you.
My mother's scarier. Oh,
I'm not sure your fucking mom is scarier when you're living in a fucking basement.
Oh.
Hey, Odie. Hey, Odie. Guys, for those of you who are listening, Zach just picked up his dog, Odie, and he's probably the cutest thing on the planet Earth. He's so cute.
But, yeah, guys, go subscribe to Jay. He's amazing. He's funny.
Yeah.
I love him. And then, Cody, where can they find you at?
Of course, guys, if you want to catch up with me, you can go to my social media accounts.
Even though he put Incredibles at number 5.
Yeah, of course. Everybody hates me for that. So, where you can find me is on Twitter. Odie is so cute. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, and let's see here. Oh, yeah, and Stardust, just by searching either Cody Curtis or _Cody_Curtis. And you guys can, of course, find me here on the Sweet Film Podcast and find me and Zach working on Entertainment Wars and a lot of other projects down the road.
Yeah, guys. So, of course, you guys know where to find me at over on this YouTube channel or at Zachpo if you're listening to this. Look me up on YouTube. Hit me up on Sandwich on Films. Let's review stuff. Let's talk about movies. Let's talk about movie news, whatever you guys want to talk about. Just nothing weird, please. I don't like talking about porn on my YouTube channel. Or I hate when people call me the C word. Like, someone called me the C word because I didn't like Slenderman. Like, okay.
Wait, what? Wait, what?
Someone called me. So someone said I was pathetic and my opinions were pathetic. So I told him, okay, well, you're pathetic too. And he called me a cunt.
Wow. Well, you know, that's fun. I was called that at work the other day.
Yeah, I love that word. Now, guys, before we get going, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hashtag on Twitter, Cody says fuck on the next podcast. You guys all have a great rest of your